just started. I really thought we'd kind of add this bit in just to give a wee bit of background, and also to introduce something that we often see in the experiences and outcomes, and is used in computing a lot, and that's the idea of input, process and output. Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of the microbit, we thought it'd be interesting to introduce you to a diagram called the von Neumann diagram. John von Neumann was a famous, way back in the day, mathematician and physicist and computer scientist who came up with this diagram, and that's it on the screen at the moment, to show you that it could represent any type of computer system.
Do you mean any computer system, like even a phone or a tablet?
Yes, any computer system could fit into this diagram, even a microbit. Now, I'm really going to focus on the input and the output devices, but from the diagram, you can also see the processor is mentioned, the CPU, that's the central processing unit, so that's a processor. It's also got a control unit and logic unit on that chip there. But the term IPO, or input, process and output, is often used in computing science. But let's start with input. So the von Neumann diagram shows that any system must have an input device, and that's the way that we give the computer data or information or ask it to do something, because basically they sit there waiting for us to tell it to do something. So there's a list of input devices there. Could be a keyboard and mouse if it's maybe a desktop or laptop, but we've also got touch screen, like on our phone or tablets. We've got stylus, we've got scanners, we've got buttons and shake, and I've put them in because they relate to the microbit. So an input device is a device that gives the processor data in some way so that it can process that data. So Amanda, kind of told you here, but what would input device on a microbit?
It's got to be the buttons.
Yes, so the buttons in the microbit are kind of input devices, and users can send data or trigger actions within the programs by pressing them. We also have a reset button, and we have the shake, and that will allow us as well to send data or trigger an action.
Brilliant. That makes complete sense to me.
Okay, so we can see in the middle now we have the processing part. So once that input is received from the processor, it will get to work and it will produce results. So somehow we need to get those results to the user, and this is done via an output device. Now, the von Neumann diagram there shows that any system must also have output devices. Now, output devices can be a whole range of different devices, and I've listed some in our frame there. We've got a screen, LED display, we've got printer, we've got headphones, we've got speakers. Okay, so an output device is a device that gives the results of the processing to the user. So Amanda, what do you think would be the output device on a microbit?
It's got to be the LEDs right in the front here.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any others, do you think?
Let me think. The speaker?
Yes, we've got a speaker on the microbit as well. So the speaker would produce sound, which is output. So now we're ready, keeping that in mind that we know now what input, process and output in a microbit can look like. Let's have a look at the microbit in further detail.